Welcome back guys, this is MDH Gaming back with another video, and today I will be talking about all the tips and tricks for box fights in public games as well as in creative. So comment what type of video you want, just like this person did, and your comment will be featured in the next episode of tips and tricks. So instead of wasting your guys' time, we'll get straight into tip number 1. So the first tip is to pre-fire and then immediately build cover. So when you pre-fire, it's important because your opponent isn't expecting you to hit them. You have to put yourself in your opponent's mind and think about when they will build or do an edit. If you're doing box fights with people and you play with regularly, then you will find a pattern in the way they play. You have to learn that pattern and use it to your advantage by finding a way to bypass it. When you pre-fire immediately, build cover for yourself. Your opponent has edited the wall to shoot at you, so they'll most likely get a shot off as well. Practice shooting and then building a wall or ramp in front of you. This will help in an in-game situation as well as box fights. So here we are on step number 2, and that is crosshair on the opponent. So keep your crosshair on the opponent if you have a wall with your opponent on the other side. Keep your crosshair on their head as you edit, and as you edit the wall, you can instantly shoot instead of moving to hit the shot. This will almost always guarantee a headshot and earn you the victory royale. But you have to be ready to follow up with an AR or SMG in case you miss the shot or you get less than a 200 pump. Before we get into step number 3, click the subscribe button to never miss out on the best tips, tricks and montages. So here's tip number 3, and this is the RPG or grenade box replace. Now this is for an in-game situation. If you have an opponent who is just camping in their box, build 2 walls on top and use an RPG or 2 grenades in the corner. This will stop their turbo building and make you fall into their box. They won't be expecting it and you've just earned yourself a free kill. But you have to remember that almost all of the walls will be theirs, so if you mess up you can't edit out. So here we are at step number 4, and that is to do realistic box fights. Whilst playing creative, instead of using guns like scars, pumps, slurps, minis, use a loadout which you'll get in a real game. For example, you could use a blue AR, a green tac, 1 slurp and 2 minis. This will help you in game because you know how each gun works and how to have your heals sparingly instead of getting used to 200 pumps for every shot you take. So here we are in step number 5, and that is to never let your enemy out of your sight. Whether playing with friends or playing in the endgame of arena, always be ready for someone to laser you out of nowhere. If you know where all your opponents are, you will be ready to defend and sit back. Also use your heals wisely. If you are on 100 HP and you have minis and a slurp fish, and the opponent is spamming your walls with an AR, use your slurp fish as it is quick to put on. If they are sitting back and waiting for you to attack, then use your minis and keep your slurp fish until you have white health. So here are a few bonus tips for you guys, and this is practice your edits and shotgun shots. With the pump out of the game, it is really hard to get 1 shot 1 kill, especially in box fights. If you practice your aim, you can get the best possible damage out of the gun you are using, for example the charged shotgun or the tac. The next tip, bonus tip, is whilst practicing, put your FPS 1 grade lower. Endgame is usually where devices tend to get hot, which loses FPS. This will make you get used to not taking walls or your opponent taking your walls. In a real game situation, you will know what to do because you have had that experience. To get the best FPS, you can watch my previous tips and trick video. The link for that will be in the description below. So guys, sadly this wraps up today's video. If you want more tips like this, comment down below and press subscribe with post notifications so that you never miss out on future videos.